In order for us to calculate your points in real time, you will need to submit your form at the end of each round. This will bring you to an Edit Your Response page. Click on Edit Your Response, and then under the Pick a Round menu, select the round that we're playing. For example, here is the History round, and you can see all of the answer fields for you to fill in as you're playing along. Once you've filled those in, click Submit, Edit Your Response, and then head on over to the next round of gameplay. Again, here we've picked the Serial Killer round, click Next. All of the answer fields are there, and once you're finished, click Submit, and then edit your response once again.
There we go. Okay, I'm now unmuted on YouTube. So we're just going to give you a little moment to get in there. The first song, here we go. You Got a Friend in Me. So this isn't 80s cheese, but nevertheless, all good. Send us those team names. Extra point for the quickest team. Extra point for the best team name.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got trouble, and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, big and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Right, there we are. Song number 1. Don't have a team name yet, but I'm sure they're on the way. Song number 2 is a bit of Duran Duran, as promised. Send us those team names. Quickest team name still up for grabs. Let's go. Very well done. You are in. Good to go. I like it. Tactical with the team name there. Very good. That might win you the point. You were first in, so we like to try and divide it up. Strong team. Good stuff. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Well done to Breakout Room 2 there. We've got you in. So we're just going to play a backup song for you now. Here we go. And then when we've got all the teams in, we'll crack on with the show. Best of luck. Well done to Breakout Room 2. We're very much liking that team name. Here we go. I get to pick a song now. What do we got? This is, yeah. I don't want to play Hungry Like a Wolf again. That's what I'm looking at.
Asking nothing,
we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to crack on with the show now. We've got 2 of the teams in, and we know the third one's on the way in. So the beginning's all just for fun anyway. Here we go. Away we go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Cudo on the game show this afternoon. Let's give them a massive round of applause. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. All teams in. All teams in. Do you know what? I was very happy with the team names, but they've continued to get better. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bucket Races, a journey through the history of game shows. A 90-minute interactive head-to-head bespoke game show experience. We're going to be competing in teams to try and earn the most points and be crowned Bucket Races, a journey through the history of game shows champion. Now, first things first, this is a game show, so we need to see who we've got on this afternoon. In breakout room number 1, gotta find my breakout rooms, here we go. It's Bucky Luckett in breakout room number 2. The 6 Bucketeers, loving it. They were our quickest team, so they're off the mark with 1 point. And then in breakout room number 3, we've got Red Button. And primarily because this is going to be fun for me to say for the afternoon, my favourite team name is going to Bucky Luckett. Come on! Absolutely love it. Like a lucky bucket. Like bucket race, but a Bucky Luckett. Oh, it's brilliant. I love it. Right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, we've seen the teams. Next thing we need to do is jump into our timeline, because we are going to go on a bit of a journey. Here we go. Right. You can see we've got lots of decades there to get through. Now, our journey always begins in the 1930s. And there's a reason for that. It's because that's when the first ever game show came out of the BBC, actually. Globally, the first ever game show was broadcast from the BBC. Now, television started in 1936, and the first game show was televised in 1938, so it didn't take long. It was called International Spelling Bee. Format was simple. Teams of established organisations would go head-to-head at spelling the most correct words. Now, it was the only game show of the 1930s. So come and join me for our first round this afternoon. It's Spelling Bee!
For the second time, the battle is on, and Pathé Gazette is privileged to present exclusive pictures inside Broadcasting House with spelling master Tom Woodruff at the table on the right. The British spellers you will see at the microphone are first actress Fabia Drake, second Secretary Margaret Baines, and third schoolboy J.E. Killick.
Hello! Welcome to Spelling Bee! The rules are simple. Spell the word correctly and you'll get your team the point. I shall read 2 words to you in total. You'll have around 20 seconds to work out their spelling. I'll now read to you your first word. Your first word is verdancy. That's verdancy. I shall use it in a sentence. I was surprised when I visited Scotland by the almost rainforest-like verdancy of the gardens. That's verdancy. Your second word is nudisturgeon. That's nudisturgeon. I shall now use it in a sentence. Nudisturgeon is one of the only words not in the iPhone dictionary. It means the day before yesterday. Nudisturgeon. That's it for Spelling Bee. Thank you. and good night. There we go. Right, so that's how it works. Send us those answers. Now, we'll go back, we'll look at the answers for that first round after the second round, just to give you a bit of time to get used to the format. So, we're going to be heading on over to the 1950s, in fact. We skip over the 40s. Now, there is a reason for this. It's because in the 1940s, television production in the UK shut down. It was still going in the US, but in the UK, we were in the throes of the Second World War. And one game show did make it to air. It was essentially a televised version of charades, which is why we skip over. Not at Christmas. We played at Christmas. Okay, so we're into the 50s now, and this is when game shows started to ramp up. Different types of game show formats were popping up left, right, and centre. And we got introduced to a new type of format in the format of a music game show. It was this one.
Name That Tune, brought to you by Amazing Liquid Free Zone that removes corns and calluses, relieves pain fast. And now Free Zone presents Name That Tune. Yes, it's Name That Tune with Harry Salter's orchestra and starring George DeWitt.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Name That Tune. Oh, this week gets worse each week. It's the second rendition of an Elvis wig, but this one, normally it looks a bit like Shirley Bassey. I don't know what it looks like. It looks like Motley Crue this afternoon. Look at that. Anyway, there we go. Welcome to Name That Tune. 4 songs for you now. One from the 70s, 80s, 90s and noughties. All you got to do is name that tune. But there are a few curveballs in there. Let's take a look at the first absolute banger from the 1970s. But can you name that tune? Yes, there we go. Now, here's one from the 1980s. If you've been working from home, you've probably come across this video. It's been a meme for sort of the past 15 years or so now. And if you've been doing some research or trying to load a YouTube video up, you've probably ended up watching this instead. It was a #1 hit globally. But can you name that tune? There we go. Now we got one from the 1990s. It was the beginning of girl power. I'm fortunate enough to see these guys in concert twice. Make of that what you will. Their first ever single, which was a huge hit, but can you name that tune?
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna.
Yes, there we go. Now finally, #4. He's a rapper, a producer. He even wrote, or starred in the film, I should say, about his own life very early on. Here's one of his biggest hits from the early noughties, but can you name that tune?
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it? Just let it slip. Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
Yes, there we go. Now, all teams have submitted for the first round, so we can take a look at those answers. Get the answers in for this round, and we'll go back and look at both. Well done to one of the teams for spelling nudie sturgeon correct. I should have known it would be our... I actually don't know what it's called when you swap. What is it called when you swap the letters of the first and second word? It's not alliteration, I know that, but something like that. Anyway, well done, Bucky Luckett. Spelling nudie sturgeon correct. Oh, it's outrageous. Right, let's have a look at the spelling bee round. presented to you by Elvis. Here we go. Number 1. It was Verdancy. And that's with an A, not an E. Not an E, it is an A. So there we go. Well done, 2 teams getting that correct. 1 team getting this correct. Nudia Sturgeon, there you go. Well done. Lucky. For hitting that on the nose. Next up, a few curveballs here. All teams getting 3 out of 4, but in different ways. So 1 team getting this answer correct. Let's take a look. It was Le Freak, not Freak Out. Then it was Never Gonna Give You Up. Yeah. All teams getting that. Then we had bit of Spice Girls, all teams getting this. And then would you believe it? The team who got the first one correct got this one incorrect. Just lose yourself.
Look, if you had
With that,
1 shot,
we're back to the studio. Here we go. So it's pretty even across the board, just the points separating each team at the moment. Although we haven't added on our bonus points at the beginning. So we will take a look at how that affects things. It was the lucky bucket, weren't they, on 1 and quickest team. There we go. That's brought 2 teams up to a tie. Now we're going to be going over to the 1960s. Here we go. So the 60s saw BBC launch a second channel. That was BBC 2. It was designed for more serious programming, so it didn't do much to affect game shows. Not until It's a Knockout came onto our scene. If you haven't seen It's a Knockout, another one worth getting up on YouTube. People were in costumes over 10 feet tall, and they were going head-to-head on obstacle course runs with bungee runs and turntables, you name it. Right, and then at the end of the 60s, another new type of game show came onto our screens, a new format. And it finds itself in the Hall of Fame. I'll explain why in just a moment. It's this one. Welcome to Questions of Sport. Now, I mentioned it's in the Sports Trivia Hall of Fame, or the Game Show Hall of Fame, I should say. 2 reasons. It's the longest running game show to have never taken a break. It's been continuously running since the end of the 60s. And it's had the least amount of presenters based on how long it's been running. So up until recently, it only ever had 3 presenters. So all of the games masters or presenters have stayed a very, very long time. So there's 2 accolades there. Now, don't worry if you're not a sports buff. We're not going to be asking you to stretch your cranial muscles on sports trivia this afternoon. Instead, you're going to be placing your bets on our genuinely live, randomised, magnetised electronic horse racing rig. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. 4 horses to choose from. If you get first place, you'll get 3 points. If you guess second, 2, third, 1, fourth place, there are no points. No points for each way. So I hope you like horse puns. Saddle up and place those bets as we take a trip on down to the Bucket Race Derby. In lane 1, it's main event. In lane 2, it's Maybelline. In lane 3, we've got Naked. And in lane 4, it's Financially Stable. So place those bets, get them in. I can hear the hoofs clickety-clacketing at the starting gate now. So get those bets in, here we go. Right, 4 horses, who will be the winner? It's a 2-lap race. Here we are. And they're off! Whoa, it's a strong start there from Financially Stable, well out of the gates. Main event is looking alright, but maybe it's Maybelline out by a nose. Naked, well off the pace on this one. That's an exquisite corner there from main event. But it looks like Financially Stable's coming up on the outside. Will it be Financially Stable or Main Event? It's going to be Main Event by a nose, followed by Financially Stable, followed by Maybe It's Neighbouring, followed by Naked. There we go. Right, how did people fare? We will find out. Oh, Naked. Well off the pace on that one. Fortunately, no one went for Naked. 2 teams going for Financially Stable, 1 for Maybe It's Neighbouring, so all teams picking up some points there. Very good stuff. Look at that. Back to the studio. Oh, and on to the 1970s. Here we go. Now, this is the era of 2 new phenomenon. One was game shows aimed at families. The other one was this concept of celebrities. They were becoming far more ubiquitous. Now, we'll look at that in a minute. First up, let's take a look at the family game shows. This next one, if you ask me, is one of the greatest game shows of all time. It came out of the Netherlands originally and then got passed over to the UK and then around the world. It's still an absolute classic. Let's have a look at it now.
Life is the name of the game, and I want to play the game with you. Life can be terribly tame if you don't play the game with 2. And I want to play the game with you.
Yes, so it's nice to see you. Very good. Hopefully some people shouting that out at their computer screens at home. Welcome to Bucket Race's generational game. Now, the original version of this game saw teams get into couples. Those couples were always a generation apart, hence the name the Generation Game. They would go head-to-head on a series of tasks and challenges throughout the evening, and the ultimate winners would win big prizes on the conveyor belt game. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing in just a moment. 15 items are going to come past the screen. All you need to do is try and memorise as many of those items as you can. You'll get 1 point for each item you remember correctly. When the items have finished passing by the screen, there will be a minute's countdown timer. So that's your opportunity to list the items. What I will say is that you need to spell it somewhat correctly to get the point. Otherwise, it's a different word. So, not extra points for spelling. You'll get the points you deserve for spelling it correctly. And we're not too strict, but, you know, some things are what they are. You call it something else, you're not going to get the points. So try and spell it as it's spelt on the conveyor belt. 15 items. Let's take a look at those now. Yes, here we go. Number 1 is a Polaroid camera. Now, we used to do this manually and pass them by the screen. So we own all of these. The moon. We've got a toy version, I think. Richard Branson or someone. They're all competing over the moon. That's a cuddly toy. Not a teddy bear, it's a cuddly toy. Robot money box, not a money box, robot money box. PlayStation 1, lava lamp, baby Groot, dollar bill loo roll. Mario Kart 64, it's Mario Kart with a K. Crystal maze ball. Adult Heelys. That is the correct spelling for Heelys. Coffee terrarium. Because it's a brand. That's why it isn't IES. There you go, but you get the point for either of those. Snow machine, bucket race trophy, and a pipe. Best of luck. You've got 1 minute now. Remember as many items as you can. Your time starts now.
I started at, it was 11, and then I took an hour, like dinner basically. Yeah.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see backstage now. Here we are. Right. So, I should have said, don't submit within the time. You don't get any points. Now, because I didn't say that, and because actually the teams have been really good on the time, come on, red button, send us those answers. The other teams intuitively knew. So you only were meant to get the minute, but I didn't outline that. But you're actually, red button, you're only about 2 seconds after. So I think we'll let that one go. Well done. You can get a round of applause for that because you knew. You didn't need me. You intuitively knew. So well done. I mean, why else have a minute timer, I guess? But we're going to go through the answers now. Very well done to Bucky Luckett. You're the ones to beat, aren't you? Did they... I'll tell you what, often the leading teams often do well on the horses as well. I don't know why this phenomenon seems to happen, but it does. You got 10 out of 15 on that one, so very well done. 1 point on the horse, so bucking the trend. There we go. Let's take a look at the answers now. Right. First up, we had a Polaroid camera. All teams getting that correct. Then it was the moon. You all got that. Now the next one, red button, you're the only ones to get this. It's a cuddly toy. It's not a teddy bear, it's a cuddly toy. Then it's a robot money box. There we go, well done. 2 teams getting that. 2 teams getting PlayStation 1. 2 teams getting lava lamp. One team just putting root. There we go. Dollar bill loo roll. Dollar bunch. What is that? Right. Mario Kart 64. Crystal Maze Ball. Very well done. We'll give you dollar bill toilet roll, red button. Fair enough. Coffee terrarium. Adult Heelys. Mario Kart 64. We've had Bucket Race Trophy. And a pipe. There we go. Let's see. Oh. Now. There we go, just seeing backstage. Let's go back to the 1970s, I think, now. Let's take a look. And I'll tell you how one of my favourite answer for one of the teams is they just put plant. There you go. No points for plant. It was a terrarium, but nice try. May as well go for it. I'm procrastinating because I'm looking at the right scene. Here we are in the 1970s. And I mentioned the concept of a celebrity was becoming more well known. Media was finding its way into people's lives. Outside of the newspapers, televisions were in most homes across Western countries, and it meant that this idea of a celebrity was becoming more and more popular. So game shows started to bring them into the shows to make the show more popular. And this next one is the personification of that. Here we go. As I said, we are sticking around the 70s for this next round. Let's take a look. Yes, here we are. This is Blanket T. Blank. Now, it was the 3rd most watched television show on Christmas Day 2021. There we go. It wasn't 2022, so I can't use that stat anymore. Clinging on to some of the old bits. Right. What you need to try and do is match your answers with the answers celebrities gave in the 1970s. We don't have any in the studio, but we do have the answers they gave in the 70s. So try and match your answers with the answers they gave on fill-in-the-blank statements. Now, we are in the 70s, so we need to get the tunes on. I'm going to get some sunglasses in a minute, but before I do that, let's crack on with the first question. Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength. Well, I just heard that first she cut off his blank. Slow him down. Head on over to your answer form. Do you think it was A, legs, B, moustache, C, beard, or D, rations? Next up, Days of Love. Right, next up, James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even blank straight. No multiple choice for this one. Just need to write the answer in. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even blank straight. Finally, we asked our 1970s audience which one of these phrases is the most popular. Mind your own business, mind your step, and mind your language. 1 point for each. Got about a minute left to send us your answers. Best of luck. go. Let's see. Has anyone submitted yet? 2 teams have. Very well done. Not a bad score there for the Bucketeers. Not a bad score for the Bucketeers. Oh, Red Button going for some slightly more rogue answers, which in this particular game doesn't always pay off. Bucky Luckett, still waiting on you guys. Now, we know you're quick, so there must be discussion. They're in now. Let's take a look at the answers. Number 1, we asked you, Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength. I just heard that she cut off his legs. Slow him down. Legs. No team getting that. Everyone putting beard, which is what I would put because there's a story about Samson in his beard, but that's what the celebs went for. Next up, James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even shoot straight. 2 teams getting that correct. Very well done. And finally, kudos to the 6 Bucketeers. Mind your language. Very well done. Was the most popular phrase of the 1970s. Good stuff. With that, we're going to be heading back to the studio. Now we're over to the 1980s. Here we go. Now, the 80s saw the influx of computer technology. Computers were finding their ways into homes and television production across the nation. We start to get all of these very, very futuristic type game shows like the Krypton Factor. Another one was called the Adventure Game, which saw people try and cross onto a different planet. They had to cross across this bridge. If they got the answer wrong, they would plummet into the abyss of space. There we go. In reaction to all the electronic gimmickry, an anti-digital game show came into being. This next game show was the first game show to be, or the first television show actually to be televised on the newly created Channel 4. And it launched the now omnipresent Harold Vorderman's career. It was this one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Final Countdown! Yes, Final Countdown. So it's our version. It's similar but different. We don't actually want you to spell the longest word. We want you to spell an 8-letter, 7-letter, 6-letter and 5-letter word. So you'll get 4 points for an 8-letter word, 3 points for a 7-letter word and so on. No points for 9 letters because there are no 9-letter words with this combination of letters. No points for 4-letter words because they're too easy. Best of luck. 30 seconds on the clock. No need to send your answers for this round until the end of the second question. I should say there are 2 questions in this game show. Send us at the end of the second question. This is your first question. Time starts now. Yes, there we go. I was just discussing with Michael the fish tank. It was such an over-the-top animation for what it's worth. But there you go. Bit 8 out of 10 cats does countdown. Right. We've got one more question for you. Here we go. This is Final Countdown! Yes, this is famous Final Countdown conundrum. You need to rearrange the letters to make another 9-letter word. It's an anagram. Best of luck. 30 seconds on the clock. Time starts now. There we go. Let's see how you get on. Oh, fuck. Bucky Luckett have got some serious spellers. I can tell you that much. Very well done. You've got a perfect score there. What's even more outrageous is that for one of them, you've sent us 3 different words. You don't get extra points for that, unfortunately, because you only get to do 1 word per box. But all of them are correct. So well done. There you go. Right. Everyone picking up on the anagram, it looks like, except for we're going to give it to you because I'm sure it's just a typo. You have got the right word, but there's only one A and there are 2 E's, and you've put 2 A's and 1 E. But we're going to be lenient and give you that. Very, very good, Bucky Luckett. Now we're going to go back. We're going to reveal the answers. So for 8 letters, I should say, you could have had dribbles. The 6 Bucketeers, you just put dribble. That's only 7. We've put them the other way. No, you put them the wrong way around. All right, no, you can have that. You've got it as well. So dribbles. The other one you could have had is dibblers. Dibblers, which are these little woodland creatures. Anyway, I'm always surprised when a team gets that. Bucky Luckett did get it. It makes me a little bit suspect. No Googling, guys. That counts as cheating. Right. Then you could have had dribble. Birdies, bridles, among other combinations for 7, and then everyone getting 6, everyone getting 5, and then finally everyone getting the anagram. It's scavenged. Very, very well done. Sticking with our bread and butter, we started with scavenger hunts with the twist. So, good job with that. We're back to the 80s. Let's have a look at the scores on the doors. Now, at the top, it's pretty close, and then there's a bit of a gap, but all can change at this point. So, currently in 3rd position with 19 points, it's Red Button. Then in 2nd position on 27 points is the 6 Bucketeers. And then in 1st position on 30 points is Bucky Luckett. Here we go. But at this point, all to play for. Now, this next round's a bit of a game changer. This next round, we see the Americas breaking back into the UK markets. This game show was launched in the 1950s in America, but it didn't get into Europe until the 1980s. And it, as I said, was the first game show to be sold to the UK from the US in about 30 years. They struggled to sell any game shows in that time. They all came from Europe, and they were all designed in the UK. So here we go. This is how they did it. It was this one. Yes, there we go. Now, what we want you to do, solve the word wall. We want the correct answer. We also want you to try and work out the funny alternative that a gentleman gave in front of a huge audience, and then the whole of the US, actually, in the 1980s. So, that's what we want you to do. Give us the real answer and the funny alternative that this gentleman gave. He got the artist correct. So, actually, you'll get 1 point for either of the first 2 words you identify that he got wrong. Now, it was a funny alternative, but I'll give you a bit of a clue. It wasn't super brazen. It wasn't super rude. It was more just like, how did you get it that wrong? And it was a funny answer. So, best of luck. 1 minute on the clock. Time starts now. Now, no need to send us any answers yet, just like the last round. There's another part to this. I'm going to be coming into a breakout room now. So, if I come into your breakout room, please mute YouTube. If I come into your breakout room, please mute YouTube. Otherwise, you'll hear me twice because I'll be on Zoom and YouTube. If I don't come into your breakout room, don't worry, you're still in the game. You're going to be trying to guess the colour that this particular team lands on. But for the team that I come and visit, there's a bit more up for grabs. So I'll be in just 1 second. Way in now. I'm on the way in now. Just 1 second. There we go, I'm in!
Hey.
There we go!
Right.
Oh no, it's us.
Yes! Why'd you say oh no? There we go. Please, you can also stop sharing your screen as well now, whoever's sharing the screen. It'll make my video a little bit bigger for you while I'm in the breakout room. Very well done! Becky, was that you? Or was that, oh no, it's us?
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Becky? Why are you anxious that I'm in here?
I know. I thought you'd go to someone that isn't doing as well.
But guys, it can go either way. Oh, because you're the organizer, Becky. Are you feeling a bit like, and because you're winning, are you feeling like you want to give something to the other teams? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was being kind.
She was being kind. Well, unfortunately, Becky, tough. You've got more points up for grabs here. So here we go. Here we go. Now, guys, I'll tell you what. The other teams, they can hear you. They can't see you. They can hear you. So, Becky, they're going to love you for your generosity. Maybe not me so much, but you guys definitely. Do you have any words of encouragement or potentially competition?
Oh, they need an Ahmed. Ahmed's been leading us all.
Can I just want to point out to the other teams, Ahmed doesn't have his video on. He's just writing on the chat. I've just seen a lol come up, which makes me wonder, is Ahmed some sort of automated quiz Wikipedia robot? AI. I've just got something on the chat saying I'm AI. Very good. Okay, well, here we go. We'll see how well Ahmed does on this one, because this is a game of chance. Let's expose the Bucky Luckets to the Reel of Fortune. Here we go. Right. What made you go for Bucky Luckett, guys? I love that name.
That was Ilka, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, modifying the kid's name.
Yeah, I loved it. Very good. There you go, extra point for the team then. Right, guys, I'm going to let you into a secret now. We've got Evan in the studio who's going to be spinning the reel for you. I'll talk you through the board and then I'll explain a little bit about Evan. So, you can see there, the last team lost a point. You don't want that. You could lose a point. So, Becky, it could go either way. Now, you could end up passing or go into another breakout room if that happens. This is where it gets a bit more interesting. You can gain 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. You can also gain 2 points and have the chance to get one more spin. Or, this is not the one I don't think you want, Becky. You can end up adding 2 points to your score and stealing 2 points from the other teams. So that is the jackpot if you're feeling competitive. Ilka, your eyebrows went up there like, yeah, we'll have a bit of that. I feel like there's a slight different, like on the front, it's like Becky's the PR. She goes out, everyone feels good. But behind the scenes is Ilka being like, let's win this. Right, so here we go. I'll talk to you about Evan. He's training to be a stuntman. He's an all-round athlete. He can walk down the stairs on his hands. Anyway, he spun the reel so hard once it came off its hinges. That's just the background to what could happen. The choice is yours. Would you like Evan to spin the reel slow, medium, or fast?
Well, I'd say medium, but it's what the team says, right?
I'm in on medium.
Yeah, medium.
Here we go. A medium spin, middle of the road. Now, I'll let you. I love a team of individuals. I'll tell you what, Ilka. Most teams go fast. They all just go fast, wreck it. We want to see it explode. But medium is interesting. Now, Evan, a medium spin, please. We'll see if he's perfected it. I'm sure he has. There we go. Oh, there we go. Fairly gentle, middle of the road. Plus 3 points! Go on! Is that Ahmed? It's Ahmed. I thought you were a robot. I thought it was going to be like unbelievable, but no. You've got a very unique human voice. Very well done. You're walking away with 3 points. Everyone but Becky. How do you feel? Oh, Becky's dancing. Jeez, really? As long as you can't hear her.
You can hear me. I haven't switched my mic off.
Oh, there. How you feeling, guys? 3 points. That's a good score.
Yeah, you want more?
You want more? Lots of nodding going on. Will just there, like, yeah, nodding away. 3 points. Now, well done to any of the teams that guessed yellow. Well done to Bucky Luckett. You were awesome. I'm going to be going back to my own little individual breakout room now. You can send your answers for the first part of this. Don't go guessing your own colour. Everyone tries it. You won't get any points for that. We'll delete it. So you can send your answers for the rest of the game, though. Very well done. You're walking away with 3 points. I'm heading back. You can load up YouTube again now, and we'll see you at the end. Very well done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Bucky Luckett. They were awesome. There we go. Walking away with a decent score there. Oh, not bad at all. 3 points for them. Let's see how the other teams are getting on. We'll have a look. Did anyone guess yellow? I should have said submit earlier on, but you know, I'm sure you're all being very... Bucky Luckett! What did I say? You can't guess your own colour. Delete. No. Trying it on. There we go. Do you know what's even funnier about Bucky Luckett? Although I will say, Red Button, you've done it as well. You both managed to pick up at least 1 point for the alternative answer. I never know how people do it. Here we go. Right, I Have the Wine by Johnny Cash. So you all got the oh no, the Bucketeers didn't get the normal one right. So it is I Walk the Line. I Walk the Line. I Walk the Mile is the film, I believe. There we go. Or is that also called I Walk the Line? I don't know. Right, I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash, and then Bucky Luckett put in I Fart the Wine. That would have been good. And I Said the Wine, but it's I Have the Wine was the funny alternative. But well done. With that, we're heading back to the studio. And we're going to be going on to the 1990s now, which is my favourite era. And you'll see why. Here we go. Let's take a little journey. Now, the 90s was brilliant because the internet hadn't really taken off yet. And it meant that most of our media was coming through televisions. And televisions were receiving a huge amount of income proportionately to other types of media, which meant all of these new game shows were popping up. They were ludicrous with bigger sets and bolder ideas. You can see Mr. Blobby, which way am I pointing? Mr. Blobby just there. He's a good example of that. We had Gladiators, you probably remember, which saw pro athletes essentially going head to head with the public inside a huge indoor sports arena. Some of the game shows that were designed with the new sets and bolder ideas were designed for children. They had slogans like "There are no parents around to stop you." So these were all the rage in the 90s. If you grew up in the 90s, you probably wanted to be on some of these when you were growing up. You're going to have the opportunity this afternoon. If you didn't, you're going to get a go anyway. Here's the first one from the 90s. Check it out. Yes, there we go. Welcome to Losers Weepers is our version. Neil wasn't invited. In this game show, children would have to solve a riddle. They would rummage around a room inside a house without a front-facing wall, trying to find the answer to that riddle, which was an item. It's exactly what you're going to be doing this afternoon. In just a moment, I'm going to give you a riddle, and then you need to work out the answer and find that item from within your own home. Now, once you've done that, you can take a photo of the Zoom screen, or if you're the one submitting, or if you're on your laptop, you take a screenshot. Either one is absolutely fine. So it's up to you how you want to do it. What I will say is the next round is a video round. So if you're on a Mac, you can record your screen very easily, but it might be worth having the phone anyway if you want to do a video. So all you need to do is record the screen. Anyone in the team can give this a go, but you do need to bring it to the Zoom call. No taking a photo of where it is. You've got to go get it. Right, here we are. 20 seconds to complete the challenge. Here's the riddle. I'll give you a hug, but please don't hog, because I'll make you sweat if you get the wrong tog. 20 seconds! Grab the item. There we go. Best of luck. we are. Right. Now, I'm aware. Got to sort out the video to the laptop or something like that. Might be the case. It's also got to have time to upload. So we've got another round for you. I need to make the most of this wig. Here's the second one from the 1990s.
It's wacky. It's fun. It's crazy. It's outrageous. Fun house. A whole lot of fun. Prizes to be won. It's a real crazy show where anything will go. Fun house. Quiz is a race. Real wacky place. Use your body and your brain. If you want to play the game.
It's time for Funhouse. Wacky contestants, messy games, the Fun Kart Grand Prix race, and a crazy chase to win lots of prizes. Now here's the guy who puts the fun into Funhouse, Pat Shaw! And here's the Funhouse! Oh, yes!
Yes, indeed, a quiz, a race, a real wacky place. It's Pun House. It's our version. Now, the original version took part inside a huge soft play zone with that's an earlier one. With guns. They've all got guns, haven't they? Balloons full of confetti, obstacles, you name it. It was absolutely ludicrous. Now, in keeping with the original version of this game show, we do have another challenge for you. In this challenge, we invite you to find an item from within your own home, throw it up, and catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. So that's what we want you to do. Find an item from within your own home, throw it up in the air, and catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. But there's a catch. You need to do it with your hands covered in slimy washing up liquid, because that's the gunge. Okay, best of luck with this. You're going to have 2 minutes. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of items you could use. How about a sponge? It's right next to the washing up liquid. You could use an apple, an orange. You could use a dog toy if you've got pets. You could use a ball. Someone once used an inflatable crocodile. They did very well. So I said it's up over the shoulder, behind the back. None of this juggling behind the back business. Over the shoulder, please. Don't go using the grand piano or a record player. It won't end well. Best of luck. 2 minutes. And then send us your answers. Time starts now.
Go!
Yes, there we go. We'll see how teams get on. Now, while you're sending us those videos, we're going to do another round here within Funhouse, I should say. 6 cars to choose from. This is in homage to the Fun Kart Grand Prix race. You see the go-karts there. Saw teams go around a wacky go-karting track trying to... You've already done it, Bucketeers. You've already gone for it. Here we go. Very good. So you'll be placing your bets on this 6-lane Hot Wheels drag race. There we go. Hope you like car puns. 6 to choose from. You'll get 3 points if you get first place and nothing for second, third, fourth, fifth or sixth. Let's take a look now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Get on home, yeah. Get on home,
Pick a lane, ladies and gentlemen. Lane 1, we got Maximus Diesel. There he is. Lane 2 is Avocado. Lane 3, Cardinal Sin. Too fast, too furious. Lane 5, Carnivorous. And lane 6, Caribbean. Now, all teams have gone for the same car here. Here we go. Let's see. To choose from, all of them the same car. Too fast, too furious. It'd be a miracle if he pulls it out the bag. Here we go. Ah! Lane 4! Lane 4! Would you believe it? All teams! No! Lane 4, too fast, too furious. It does nothing to the scores because you've all gone for the same car. Right, unbelievable. What are the chances? Actually, what are the chances that... It'll be the probability of 1 in 6, and then the probability of each team picking that out of 3 teams. It's quite high, anyway. I'm actually like I know how to do probabilities. I don't. With that, we're back to studio. Yes! Very well done. All teams picking up 3 points there. Now, we've got one more game show in the 1990s. What you need to know about this next game show, it's the most successful game show of all time, and... It was up until this game show, the top prize money was £20,000 or around that amount. And then in the 90s, cable television picked up. The Simpsons and the X-Files and all the sport were pulling people away from the terrestrial channels. And it was ITV who went, we've got to do something. And this is what they came up with.
Tonight and for the next 10 nights, you'll be watching British quiz show history. For the first time on UK TV, we have a top prize available of £1 million, and it could be won here tonight. No tricks, no traps. Join us now for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes, welcome to You Want to Be a Millionaire? You are now 5 questions away from earning your team a total of 15 whole points. Unlike the original version of this game show, if you get a question wrong, you can continue. And remember, there are no lifelines. The questions range from the easiest to the hardest, and the harder the questions are, the more points they are worth. So, come and join me now for a round of You Want to Be a Millionaire? Question number 1, which is of course for 1 point. Which tool was used as a weapon by the Norse god Thor? Is it A, pliers, B, a hammer, C, a screwdriver, or D, a sword? Only 1 point. Off the mark with it. What is the name of the classic dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue? Is it A, baked Rhode Island, B, baked Wyoming, C, baked Connecticut, or D, baked Alaska? Question number 3. 3 points. Which of these is a religious event celebrated in Hinduism? Is it A, Diwali? Is it B, Ramadan? Is it C, Hanukkah? Or D, Whitsun? Question number 4 for 4 points. Which toxic substance is obtained from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant? Is it A, sarin, B, strychnine, C, ricin, or D, cyanide? Question number 5, which is genuinely a £1 million question. In the history of motorsport, which of these iconic races was held first? Is it A, Le Mans 24 Hours, B, Monaco Grand Prix, C, Indy 500, or D, Isle of Man TT? Now, when you're happy with your answers, you can click submit. And then we'll go back, we'll reveal what the answers are, then we'll do a roundup of the scores after this one. Here we go. Oh, 2 teams! 2 teams doing very, very well. Lucky Luckett and Red Button, grab yourself a drink, you know what's coming up. And you'll be safe in the knowledge that you would be millionaires. I mean, tonight you just get... You get 15... Oh, all teams maxing out. What's going on? Someone got the answers. What's going on? Here we go. I get sceptical when you get everyone gets the right car and then everyone gets all 5 of these correct. Anyway, we'll whiz through the answers. Here we go. Right, number 1, Hammer. Number 2, Baked Alaska. Number 3, Diwali. Number 4, Ricin. Number 5, Isle of Man TT. So, there you go. You'd all be millionaires. Back to the studio. Very good. Very good. No pulling the wool over the eyes of you guys. Which means we need to head into the noughties now. Here we go. Now, it's the dawn of reality television. If you didn't have a reality TV element, you weren't making it onto the programming schedule. Things like X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, Pop Idol, Come Dine With Me. There you go. It was replacing all of the normal programming that became very popular, and things like Fear Factor tried to push themselves to their extremes, but they didn't stay on the bill for long. That was, of course, until game show god Noel Edmonds returned to our screens, although another game show that came out of the Netherlands, a lot of them do. But this one was really made famous by the old Noel's House Party presenter. 3 points up for grabs. 2 identically sealed boxes, and no question except for one. Deal or no deal? There we go. Welcome to Banker's Deal. 3 points up for grabs. 2 identically sealed boxes. Now, one of the boxes, the one above my head, there you go. That's your swap box. That's your swap box. Over here, this is your no swap box. Here you go. This is your no swap box. So, it's up to you. Do you want to swap or no swap? I'm going to give you around 30 seconds to come up with an answer. Oh, I wonder who that could be. There we go. Oh, I'm pulling it out. I've already lost the phone. Oh, there we go. Hello? Oh. There we go. That was the banker in a rush. He says to me that Lucky Luckett, he doesn't trust you. That's what he says. He says he doesn't trust you. He doesn't know how you've got a perfect score on the last 2 rounds, near enough. And he says he wants to try and trip you up. That's what he said to me. And he said that in trying to do so, he's going to keep things simple. He wants you to go for it. And he's going to give you a very untantalising 0 points. So the banker's deal is worth 0 points. So now you can swap, no swap, or take the banker's deal. Obviously, the no swap is the safe option, but the boring one. 30 seconds to make your decisions. Time starts now. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Whoa. 2 teams in. We've heard from 2 teams. Here we go. I said we do the scores. So, what is going on? You've all gone for the same thing again. Well, you must be a very tight-knit group. Or you've got like a radio link between the teams. I don't know. You've all gone for the same thing. So this won't make a difference to the scores. You've all gone for swap. Here we go. So we're going to reveal the no swap box first of all. This is your no swap box. There we go. Unfortunately, your no swap box was where the points were, but it doesn't really make a difference to the scores. Here we go. Evan, please reveal the swap box just to make sure there's no funny business going on. I should have mentioned. There we go. I've got so used to putting this beard on. This is Noel Edmonds going feral during lockdown. There we go. That's what it's meant to be. And just to show you, no funny business. -3. With that, we're back to the studio. You've probably got, why on earth has he got that beard on? Well, that's the reason. Right. So, we're in the noughties. The scores on the doors are this. Now, I would actually say, Bucky Luckett, you were on to nearly our top score ever. You are out in the lead at the moment with 57 points. Very well done. Then we drop down to 45 for the 6 Bucketeers and then 36 for Red Button. So between those 2 teams, they can still battle it out. I think Bucky Luckett might just be too far to catch, but there are a couple of game show rounds left. Let's take a look at those now. We're going over to the 2010s, and this next game show was the main competitor to the Chaser, and you've probably realised that over the past 10 years the idea of a primetime slot had started to go out the window, and game shows are fixated on this new idea of show it every day during the day. Now this next one has gone on to what is sort of known as the hot spot for game shows, which is 5 PM, just after or around the time after work. Here we go. This is the Chaser's main competitor over on the BBC. It's this one. Yes, welcome to Scoreless, where the aim of the game is to try and get the obscure answer. Now, a scoreless answer is an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. We're going to give you 2 questions in total. You'll get 4 points if you identify a scoreless answer. Now, the first one's very, very tricky because there are only 2 answers that our social media survey didn't give us. Let's take a look at that question now. Yes, there we go. We're looking for any Beatles top 40 singles with 3-word titles. Now, only give us 1, and it needs to be a scoreless answer. And a scoreless answer is an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. As I said, they only missed 2. So this is a particularly tricky round. 4 points if you get this right. 1 minute on the clock. No need to send us your answers until we've done both questions. Time starts now. there we go. So we've got another round of scoreless. So what I should have mentioned is actually 6 Bucketeers, you could in theory still win. You could still win by a point. And Red Button, you can definitely catch 6 Bucketeers. So here we go. We've got one more scoreless question for you. We're looking for any national flags that contain the colour green. Now, a national flag is considered a country that is recognised as a sovereign state by the UN. So there's 193 to choose from, but we only want national flags that contain the colour green, and they've got to be a scoreless answer, an answer that nobody in our social media survey gave us. 1 minute on the clock. Time starts now. There we go. Let's see how you get on. Oh. Oh. Still waiting on one team. Now, you'll know if you've got a scoreless answer. Let's take a look at what you could have had. So, for the first one, the Beatles, you could have had Ain't She Sweet and Baby It's You. Mentioned, very difficult. Ain't She Sweet was was actually the highest charting single with the original drummer, and that was Pete Best, before Ringo joined the band. And Baby It's You was a part of their touring act from 61 to 64. On to the flags now. You've had Azerbaijan, Bolivia, Central African Republic, Jordan, Maldives or Zimbabwe. You also could have had Sudan, Oman, Gambia and Zambia. Or Zambia. With that, we're back to the studio and we're on to the final round of this afternoon. This final round saw game shows making their way onto social media. We've got all of these different ways of watching stuff now. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Instagram, Facebook Live, YouTube. And this next one was largely popularised through YouTube. Lots of people making their own versions at home. It's also made it onto what's left of a primetime slot in a few countries around the world. Best of luck. It's this one.
Good evening and welcome to Minute to Win It.
10 games, each 60 seconds. Playing with household items can make you $1 million.
Now it's Minute to Win It.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Yes, welcome to 2 minutes to win it. You get an extra minute with us. 5 points up for grabs if you manage to complete the challenge. One final challenge for you. Let's take a look at the blueprints of the game.
Face the biscuit! The human face composes of lots of muscles, with the main ones helping to make a smile or frown. In this challenge, you must move a biscuit from the forehead to the mouth, using only the muscles in your face. If a biscuit drops, you must take another and start again.
Now, don't worry if you don't have a biscuit. You can use anything that's sanitary and not a choking hazard. They are the requirements of what we will give you the points for. So you could use a tea bag. Lots of people have a lot of success with the tea bag. Use a cracker. Obviously, you can use a biscuit if you've got one. Maybe a rice cake, a crisp. It's up to you. I always suggest a slice of carrot. Someone did it. I can no longer say no one's ever done it now because someone, for the first time after 18 months, they used a slice of carrot last week. So Only one team has done that though. Don't go using some banana or something and just get stuck. You need to be able to wriggle it. There you go. There's some technique for you doing that to get it from your forehead to your mouth. 2 minutes. We're going to be putting you out and doing the scores on Zoom. So putting out of your breakout rooms as the countdown timer is going. So you'll get pulled out straight after you've finished to get those uploaded as quick as possible. Best of luck. 2 minutes on the clock. Time starts now.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
There we go. Right. I'm back on Zoom. Some of you are in already. I'm going to mute on YouTube now.